Alright, so I promised you a video about the curriculum we're using. And so first I thought I would start with this awesome planner that I printed off and had bound at Office Max. I bought the printable at vintagekidsmodernworld.com, and then I was able to just print off the pages I wanted and put them in the order I wanted. And so I'm kind of excited about it. This is my first year using a planner. I haven't used one before because with just one kid, I just kind of knew what he needed to get done, and we just kind of went through each day and checked it off of our little to-do list. But this year with 2 kids, I need a little bit more organization. So we have calendars, and it talks about make sure we have all the curriculum that we're using for each kid. Daily routines and schedules, and then there's also field trip information, our book log, and even stuff about lunches and extra notes and stuff. And so I liked that this was pretty with the kind of watercolor images. And then what I liked most is the layout of how it had, you can do, so I can write Jude's plans, Noah's plans, what we do together. And I can really tailor it to what the way we kind of like to do stuff. So anyway, that's my planner. Go check it out. You can print it off at home. It's super easy. So then we'll get into our classical conversations. This is our 3rd year doing classical conversations. It'll be Noah's 1st year doing it. Jude's really liked doing classical conversations in the past. So this is our guide. This is our main book and the backbone basically for our education, homeschool education. And if you don't know a lot about classical conversations, I suggest Googling it and reading a little bit more about classical education. And I'm not going to get into all that right now, but this is mainly what we use. And then when we're not doing classical conversations, we kind of do more of a Charlotte Mason approach. But so with our classical conversation, each boy will get their own binder, which I haven't filled this in yet, but they'll have a binder that will have, there's 24 weeks in our classical conversation stuff. So I have 24 dividers, and behind each divider will be some just kind of worksheets and stuff that they can do to work on their memory work for each week. And Jude's will be a little bit harder, and Noah's will be a little bit easier with like cut and paste sort of stuff, but I still have to get those put together. And then for Jude, this is Jude's curriculum. He is in 3rd grade, and he will be doing basically 4 other things in addition to classical conversations. And I'll go over that now. Oh, with our classical conversations, before I forget, I wanted to show you the main part that we use of our classical conversations is the app on our iPad. And I bought this last year, and it's kind of expensive. It's like $15 for the app, which is like way more than what I would usually pay for an app. But it has all the information we need, and it goes through week by week and subject by subject. And so the boys can really easily navigate this, and they can read it, they can listen to it, and it's a really great resource for them. I mean, that's the main thing we use for our classical conversations is this app right here. So Jude, let's get back to him. For Jude, for his handwriting, we use A Reason for Handwriting. I started using this last year with him with Book B. He's had some trouble with his handwriting, so we're kind of taking our time and working through it. Book C is Cursive, and I've heard that sometimes kids that have trouble with writing sometimes do better with Cursive. And what I really like about the Reason for Handwriting books is that they go through, and each day you just do a little bit each day. Day 1, day 2, and then the last day, you're working on a scripture verse, and each lesson is based around a scripture. And so the words and the letters that you're doing pertain to the scripture that you're working on. And so when you write out your scripture, and you can go in the back, and they have these coloring sheets where you can rip them out, color the little bordery frame parts, write your scripture, and then we can rip it out and hang it on the wall. And Jude really liked doing these last year, and so I think he'll really like the cursive one this year. And we definitely still have to work on our handwriting this year. We're also working on Explode the Code. We are finishing up book 6. We kind of started into this book last year because we just had time and we didn't finish it, so we're just going to pick up where we left off. But it's just good for phonics. Easy little workbook. Jude really likes to do it. We've done all the lessons up to this one. We'll continue with them until we're done with the whole series. I think Jude just enjoys doing them. We may not do this every day, but it's a good way just to keep practicing our reading and phonics and spelling and understanding of English. Speaking of English, this year we're going to try out language lessons through literature. Actually, this has changed to English lessons through literature. I think they changed the name of this. I bought this book on Amazon, but I think they changed the name of it. Anyway, I'm really excited about this book. Last year we used, what did we use? First language lessons. And we used that last year and the year before, and I really liked it, but I like that this has a little bit more based around literature, as it says in the title. And so each week you do this about 3 times a week, and so you will learn a little bit about grammar, and then you'll do some poetry, oral narration, and Aesop's Fable in this book, and then they have copy work, and so you practice. This helps them with spelling and just writing and like actually getting in and copying real passages from literature. And so all of this lesson is based, this part of the lesson, the grammar part, is based around a book that we're reading. And so there's a couple books that we'll be reading this year, and then as we go through each book, we'll study the grammar in the book, and we'll do some copy work directly from the book. And so we're learning our grammar and writing directly from literature that's fairly popular and renowned, I guess. And so we have a couple books here that we can read, and they are all available for free on the Gutenberg project. You can find them online for free, so you don't even have to buy the books. You can just download them onto your Kindle or whatever and read them for free, which is awesome. But what we're also going to do with this is some of this I'll do with Jude, but then some of this we're going to do with our morning time with all the boys. Like we'll probably do the poem in the morning and maybe the Aesop's Fable in the morning with all the kids, just to include them some more in the schoolwork. But then Jude will do mostly the grammar and the dictation and the copy work stuff. And I'll probably read to all of them as well. So I'm excited about this. I'll let you know how it goes. This is also new, our math. We're using Math Mammoth this year. Previously we'd used Matthew C, which I like, but it is kind of expensive. And it's a little time intensive with the DVDs and everything, and Jude was getting a little frustrated with it, so we decided to pick a simpler and more economical route. With Math Mammoth, you can buy printed off books, you can buy a CD and download the workbooks and print them at home, or you can even just buy digital download and don't even need CDs or anything. So I bought a CD that has grades 1 through 7 on it. So I have basically math curriculum for 1st through 7th grade. And I can just print stuff off as I need. If we, start in this workbook and it turns out that it's too easy for Jude, I can just go to the next workbook and print it off. And all I have to pay is to print you know, some black and white pages. And I just got this printed in black and white at Office Max with my Classical Conversations discount card that I have, which is awesome. And then I just put it in a three-ring binder in case I wanted to just take a page or two out to have him work on it separately instead of going through the whole book. And then I can just reuse the binder if I need to. But I haven't really looked too much into what this year's stuff will be, what he'll be learning this year. But this is all in color. I just had it printed in black and white because it's cheaper. But if you wanted to have it, if you wanted to print it in color at home, you could. It's definitely more colorful. But I'm really excited about this math. They don't have kindergarten math. They just have a couple books that they recommend for kindergarten, which we will talk about now with Noah's kindergarten workbooks. I'm keeping it super simple for Noah. Mostly in kindergarten, learning is done through play. But for math, this is one of the first books that the Math Mammoth people recommended. I just bought it on Amazon for like $10, Math Made Easy. And it's just kind of fun, like he can color in the pictures if he wants to. And it just gets him familiar with numbers and a lot of concepts of addition and subtraction and more, and less than, and geometry basics and, you know, very basic stuff. And basically this will set him up for to start Math Mammoth for first grade. Then we're going to be doing Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. Haven't learned much about this yet, but I wanted to give it a try. Also be doing alphabet games. We've already started a little bit on it, but just familiarity with uppercase, lowercase, writing. Super easy book. I bought it on the clearance section at Target for like $2. And then he's also going to start Explode the Code. We're starting in C because I just kind of thought that was the best fit for him. But I have the rest of them if he wants to move on. But it'll just be another good way to work with our reading and writing. We're going to be spending a lot of time with Noah working on reading. So I'm also going to probably get some little readers as he gets a little more comfortable, either from the library or maybe buy some other books. But that's basically it for our curriculum. It's super simple. We'll also be doing nature journals once a week with some art and stuff, but I will do a whole other video on that because that is something completely different. But that's our curriculum for this year, and a few more weeks and we'll get started.